In tonight's Fox 17 Waste Watch report, voter beware. Among the current crop of candidates vowing to clean things up in Washington are some convicted felons. Now, they pledged to restore fiscal discipline, but it's a tall order for someone who filed for bankruptcy multiple times and was convicted of fraud, like one congressional candidate here in Tennessee. Jeff Barn tonight with our story.
In the United States of America, we conduct thorough background checks for teachers, coaches, and counselors. But the same does not hold true for those running for a seat in Congress.
Therefore, people are sneaking past the system who were really without any of that kind of vetting.
In Tennessee, Tea Party candidate Brenda Leonard promotes herself as a core fiscal hawk. Not a word of her arrest, however, for fraud. She was charged with writing bad checks back in 1993, placed on probation, and then ordered to pay a fine.
I didn't know what I would find when I went in.
Jim Popkin, working for our media partner, the Washington Guardian, found that Leonard filed for bankruptcy not once, but 4 times in 2 years. Popkin, the president of Investigative Check, examined the public records of 350 candidates running for the U.S. Senate. He found bankruptcies, tax liens, and even arrests for violent crimes.
We often just don't know who we're pulling a lever for or who we're donating $50, $100 to.
In all, 13 candidates have blemished records. The list includes Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Tea Partiers, and a Libertarian.
To some extent, this is the responsibility of parties. Parties are not supposed to support those within the party who have this kind of background.
Scott Bowman is almost a household name in Michigan. Bowman, a libertarian, has been running for elected offices since the mid-1990s. He filed for bankruptcy despite minoring in mathematics while in college.
More people are concerned with America's future than Scotty Bowman's past. But that being said, yes, at the turn of the century, I made some horrible decisions. And those horrible decisions led me to a point where I could no longer service my own debt.
Scott Rupert, a professional truck driver, had a tough choice back in 2007, repair his 18-wheeler or pay more than $60,000 in federal and county taxes. He stuck with his truck. He's running as an independent candidate out of the state of Ohio because, in his words, the government is getting out of hand.
In my opinion, I don't owe the government a lot of money. I have to pay taxes. In my estimation, I'm not getting much for my money.
Then there's Jack Shepard. Shepard is a fugitive wanted on charges of first-degree arson. He served time in prison for criminal sexual conduct. But nothing stands in his way from seeking the Senate nomination for Democratic farmer in the state of Minnesota, even though Shepard lives in Rome, Italy. Come November, remember, voter beware. I'm Jeff Barn reporting.
Now, tonight's story is the first in a series of reports with our new media partner, the Washington Guardian. They will be joining us in our ongoing effort to bring you Waste Watch stories every single night. You can find all of those stories at our website, fox17.com. Just go to Hot Topics and then click on Waste Watch. You can also submit your ideas for Waste Watch investigations in that same section.